McGregor will avoid prison time after pleading guilty to a single disorderly conduct charge on Thursday in a Brooklyn courthouse as part of a deal with prosecutors to resolve assault charges over an April melee at our local arena. "I just want to say I'm thankful to the district attorney and the judge for allowing me to move forward," McGregor said on his way out of the court. "I want to say to my friends, my family, my fans, thank you for the support." McGregor turned himself in to Brooklyn police in April, a day after the brawl at Barclays Center that left several fighters covered in glass when he smashed a hand truck into the window of a van in which they were riding. The Dublin native will have to pay restitution for damage to the van, serve 5 days of community service, and attend an anger management class. McGregor's co-defendant, fellow Irish MMA fighter Cian Cowley, also pleaded guilty to a disorderly conduct charge. The decision did not affect the status of McGregor's travel visa, which is significant because he could be fighting in a major UFC event in the United States in either October or November, according to ESPN. Furthermore, McGregor will not have a criminal record. Orders of protection were given for several of the victims' MMA fighters Ray Borg, Jason Ledbetter and Michael Chiesa. The brash, 30-year-old UFC star had been charged with assault and criminal mischief. The Dublin native declined to make a statement in the courtroom. Share this article. McGregor faced up to 7 years if convicted on all charges, but that was never considered a likely outcome, particularly after McGregor's attorney told a Brooklyn judge in June that the plea deal was being negotiated with prosecutors and his co-defendant, Cowley. In June, McGregor said he regretted his actions, although he did not publicly apologize to the victims. Video footage showed McGregor hurling a hand truck at a bus full of fighters after a press conference for UFC 223 at Barclays Center in April. MMA stars Michael Chiesa, Ray Borg, and others were injured by shattered glass and unable to compete in the event. The UFC, the sport's premier organizing body, said one fighter was hit by a dolly thrown through a window, while another suffered a cut to his eye after the glass shattered. At the time of the melee, McGregor was angry that the UFC had stripped him of the lightweight title, according to profanity-laced messages he posted on "You'll strip me of nothing, yous do nothing, see." UFC President Dana White ruled that McGregor, the first UFC fighter to hold 2 world titles simultaneously, had to forfeit the lightweight belt to whomever won the Al Iaquinta Nurmagomedov bout because McGregor had participated in a UFC event since 2016, nearly a year before his doomed boxing debut against Floyd Mayweather Jr. In August of 2017, if McGregor can stay out of trouble, he could take part in a lucrative UFC comeback later this year, possibly on October 6 or December 29. That fight would likely be against Khabib Nurmagomedov, who currently holds McGregor's old UFC lightweight title and was believed to be the intended target during the attack on the bus. Nurmagomedov, a lightweight, was in the van and is believed to have been the target of the McGregor's rage. The 29-year-old Russian previously had a public confrontation with Artem Lobov, a friend and training partner of McGregor's who was scratched from his own fight on Saturday because of his involvement in Thursday's incident. The footage begins with McGregor approaching the bus as it inched towards the truck elevators to exit the building. At one point McGregor, could be seen running for a dolly, picking it up, and throwing it at the moving vehicle, breaking one rear window. Approximately 20 guys were apparently let in through the doors by the MacLife guys, who were credentialed here, White explained later that day, referencing McGregor's brand and its employees who allegedly helped the Dublin native and his crew enter Barclays Centre. They opened the doors for them. Through an entrance, they stormed the building, got down to the loading docks, where the fighters were getting on the buses, and started to attack the buses, throwing trash cans and dollies and things like that, White continued. Broke one of the windows and cut Michael Chiesa real bad. He cut his head and cut his face. UFC fighter Rose Namajunas was apparently almost hit. She's super upset right now. Hurt one of our employees, broke one of our employees' knuckles. Footage from the scene shows McGregor attempting to hurl a guardrail through the window of the van full of fighters before being prevented by security. The Dubliner can then be seen trying to do the same with a trash can before being thwarted once again. The confrontation led to several injuries and the cancellation of 3 of UFC 223's scheduled bouts. Lightweight Michael Chiesa suffered a laceration to his face and, as a result, was forced to pull out from the event. Flyweight Ray Borg was also scratched ahead of his bout with Brandon Moreno due to multiple corneal abrasions, the UFC said in a statement. And because the featherweight Lopov was involved in instigating the fracas, his bout with Alex Caceres was also cancelled. Making matters worse for the UFC, Max Holloway was not medically cleared to fight Nurmagomedov in the main event. McGregor was scheduled to lose his UFC lightweight belt to the winner of the title bout between Max Holloway and Nurmagomedov.